Hey, Saggies, welcome back, Sagittarians. Let's jump on in and see what this storyline takes us riding through. Okay, we just got the Six of Wands, and I wanted to start out with whatever the chakra energy is. And we start with the third eye chakra, so high intuition. We have the Six of Wands, but it is coming out sideways. I'm trying to think of what zodiac got this, or maybe it wasn't a zodiac. It might have been in one of the I remember it was the videos that I did on Tarot Dog earlier today, my other channel. So just FYI, that was the first card that came out on a completely different storyline, but you might want to check that out. There's a free link to Tarot Dog in the description box. This being sideways, Sag, I'm going to say that we have somebody whose intuition is saying, you know what, I realize there's something I want to go for, but maybe I need to work on just a little tiny bit of my confidence. Oh, what, Lobo 818? Good to see you, Angel. Thanks for being here. All right, I want to get one more out of this chakra deck, mostly because I'm looking for something. Okay, I said one more. We got a couple more, but I was going to say I'm looking for something that might be I feel like this is not a confident pull, and so I need something that's going to give us, upright or reversal. Well, we got three. So obviously we have got the heart chakra here, but holding back. We've got the solar plexus chakra, so the house of willpower, and it's the Tower card in the reverse. So something has not really changed. And then we've got the crown chakra. And this being the Seven of Wands, this seven is a divine number, but it's like, here's the simplest way I would say this. My feeling is that Sag is aware that a situation is a little bit murky because someone's holding back who hasn't yet been able to either drop their ego, who hasn't been able to get themselves in alignment with what they really want. And Sag is simply aware from their highest self, the highest realm. They're aware of what's going on. They know that somebody is tangled up in indecisiveness. They're tangled up because they don't really want to drop an ego. And I think that's the simplest way to say it. And I don't think it's Sag. I think Sag is the one recognizing this. And I think Sag even knows that this other person who's kind of tangled up in their ego, unable to move forward, unable to make significant and realistic, decisive action to either move forward or walk away. I think that's messing with Sag's own energy of confidence, just a smidge. It's basically somebody saying, you know what? I don't really think I like the way this person is so indecisive. I know why they're indecisive. I know it's their issue, but it's starting to kind of impact me, and I don't really like that. That's the way I would describe this. And I think Sag knows that if someone else's behavior is bugging them, it might be time to take a road trip. Might be time to go somewhere else. Hi, small TV. Good to see you, Angel. It's time that either Sag brings this up or it's time they just go someplace else. I mean, I really see, not see. I hear that song by Emmylou Harris. It's called That Boy from Tupelo. And she says something about, I was good, but now I'm gone. Like the buffalo, the sweetheart of the rodeo, the border you cross into Mexico. That's how I'm going to go. I feel like there's this exit that Sag is about to take because they're saying there's a lot of other people that are clear on what they want, that can speak some truth, that do know where they want to go, that have a more, I'll say, confident countenance to them. And I really think maybe Sag is just going to take a trip and go spend some time with good friends. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to go meet some other lover, but it could be. It just looks like Sag is saying, let somebody stew in their own indecisiveness, but I personally want to move with confidence in my life. Yeah, see, the Devil and the Hermit. I think Sag is going to be sitting down, taking a little trip, going and talking to friends, spending some quality time. And the trip doesn't have to be big. It could be like, I'm going to drive 30 minutes outside of town to that favorite little cafe and meet up with some friends before work and just have a heart-to-heart chit-chat and be like, give me some perspective, because I'm kind of thinking the thing I've been dealing with is a little bit toxic. And I'm kind of getting in my head about it. I feel like this Sag is Either they're simply reflecting on this and they are giving it significant amount of um, consideration, I'll say. Probably to Sagi's credit, right? Because they don't want to necessarily be judgy or cut bait too soon if it's something they still want. But on the other hand, they're really asking themselves, how is the situation impacting me? Am I starting to get obsessed over something because it's not adding up, it's not making sense? How is it impacting me? I really love the fact that this Sag is so um, self-aware that they're doing like a self-check. If somebody is indecisive because they can't figure out where they stand on something, they're holding back their heart chakra, they don't have the willpower to either cut themselves free of something else so they can give wholeheartedly to Sag, and they just keep saying, well, I mean, it's this obstacle, there's all these problems, that's why I can't really open up, Sag, that's why I can't really move forward. I think Sag is kind of like, okay, fine, they're doing what they claim they need to do, but what do I need to do? And I think that's the amazing thing, is that Sag is very clear on the fact that the only person they're in charge of is themselves. Spirit of Cups, this Sag is hell-bent that they will not put their heart on a shelf. They will not be missing out on fun. They will not be missing out on happiness. They will not make it so that they somehow lose any of their own confidence. I think the Sag is going to start to kind of like lighten their energy. Hey, contented tiger. Good to see you, darling. Okay, we've got Action of Swords sideways, and we got the Three of Swords in the reverse. Sag is not going to be brokenhearted over this person, like, at all. I think that they're already recognizing there's no point in me feeling like, oh, am I missing out? Because in truth, no. I'm not able to build with someone if they keep holding back anyway. Why would that hurt me? Like, we didn't get to build in the first place. So what am I missing out on? Nothing. So in reality, is my heart broken? It's not. Now, it may still take them just a little bit of time to get to that conclusion, but I think Sag works pretty fast. My feeling for this character is that this particular Sag is such a realist, and they know themselves so well, and they don't shy away from the cold hard facts. And they also don't have like fantasy land in their head where they try to come up with, alternate realities of, well, it's this and that, and this person really wants to be with me. They just can't yet. This is like a Sag who goes, I don't care what you're doing. How's it impacting me? What do I want? This Sag, to me, feels like there's somebody who's really good at advocating for themselves, and making sure that they are content with the way something is. And right now, the Sag isn't. And this Sag is not going to be breaking down in tears and feeling like, oh, why couldn't this person give to me? If only they would have given to me. Then I love the fact that we have such a powerful Sag character. They are not sitting around feeling like, I can't believe they would do this to me. I love the fact that this Sag character, I wish every character had this vibe to them in these stories where, if a character is dealing with someone who can't step up to the plate, this Sag is like, yeah, that's their thing. All I got to worry about is, how does it impact me? How do I feel? And what do I want? I'm not going to boo-hoo over it. If I can't get what I need, then obviously I don't want it anyway. That's such a refreshing attitude, I have to say. Good on you, Sag. Okay, so what comes next? Because I just don't see Sag lingering in this at all. Page of Cups, Two of Cups. You know what? I can't think of what zodiac it was right now. I think it was Capricorn. I'm not sure, but I think it was Capricorn. Letting go of someone who can't step up to the plate, and not having these illusions that, oh my God, but what if they're my soulmate, my twin flame, my this, my that. This Sag is just like, yeah, whatevs. They're not giving to me. I don't need to assign them any label. If they can't step up, then I'm not getting what I need, then I'm going to go ahead and let it go, and I'm not going to cry over it. And the second Sag does this is the second their heart is clear, clean, and free. And that seems to be how they meet somebody new who just happens to be their actual Two of Cups, the right person for them. This is one of those examples of how sometimes connecting with the wrong situation and being linked up to it can kind of take up all of our time, our energy, our thought, and our heart space. And when we evaluate, if we're wise enough, the way Sag has been, to evaluate and say, wait a minute, Why would I give my time, my energy, my consideration, my heart space to somebody who can't give it back to me? Never mind, detach. And as soon as our character is detached, they are free to like move around and connect to some other train. I don't know why I'm picturing train cars. It's like Sag is detaching one whole car that they were toting around with them, and instead their engine is moving faster and lighter, and they're able to have space to attach a whole different train car to their engine, which is the right person for them. Tell me about this Two of Cups person. How is Sag meeting them? I'm so happy. I'm so happy. We have the Emperor. We have the Nine of Wands. We have the Page of Wands. First off, whomever this character is, they could be an Aries, doesn't have to be. But this is Zeus. Okay, so Zeus is, like the reigning king, the god of the sky of all the Olympian gods in Greek mythology. And more than that, he was powerful. He was defiant. He led the battle against the Titans, the old gods, and overthrew the kind of tyrannical rule of the old gods, which, by the way, happened to be his own father. However, the reason I say all this is because this is not whoever Sag is supposed to be with. This Two of Cups person has to be someone that strong. It has to be somebody who is bold, defiant, does not get stepped on by somebody else, is not going to be put in a box any more than Sag was willing to be. No wonder Sag matches with somebody this powerful. This I do feel like they're a fighter. Like literally, this person could like boxing or something. He's got some pretty pronounced deltoids there. So I'm guessing he does some kind of abduction exercises or something. But he could be, he or she, doesn't matter. It's just is coming across as a very masculine energy, and the best kind of masculine energy, because this is the kind of, like, emperors are made because they choose to be mindful and thoughtful of their actions. They want good counsel, but they will still always decide what they believe in themselves instead of being a yes man or a yes woman. And they'll stand up and take their consequences, whether they're right or wrong. They'll say, well, I decided to do that because of the time I truly believe, based off of fact and balance and evaluating things, I believe that was the right course of action. They'll stand by their words. They're not a liar. They're not somebody who quivers in their boots if somebody doesn't like what they had to say. They're somebody who's like, I'm sorry, but I make decisions based off of facts. Just like we saw Sag do in this, right? I feel like Sag and this Emperor are cut from the exact same cloth. Now, with this Nine of Wands, I was asking, how does Sag meet this person? I can see why this is the right match for Sag, let me tell you. But how do they meet? And the first thing we got is, this could be a boss. This could be somebody that Sag does business with all of a sudden. Doesn't have to be, but it feels like they're going to be problem solving with this person. The Nine of Wands is here when there's been like, we're putting a closure to a battle. This can be wounded warrior energy, but it can also just be, how does a warrior ever get wounded? Well, because they've been out on the battlefield of life. So coming back and resting a little bit and then getting back into the fray and being successful. I'm thinking that they may either meet this Emperor on a day where there's literally, it's been a bit of a hellish day when Sag meets them. And this Emperor could be, I'm not going to say a bit of a hero for Sag, but it could be. But I think it's more like a bumpy day turns into like a 5-star day, which, by the way, awesome song by Aqueduct. It's called 5-Star Day. And in it, in fact, the first lines of that song says, I don't believe in astrology, but you can read my horoscope. I like the sound of your voice. It's a cute song. It's really sweet. But I wonder, maybe Sag is into astrology and this person isn't. I could totally picture that also. But there's something where I'm going to say, for this storyline, however Sag meets this Emperor, it could be on a fairly crappy day. It could be a day where Sag is just like, man, today sucks. And then it doesn't suck so much because I meet this Emperor. And yeah, this Emperor could bring some new energy into Sag's life, but it lights up Sag's world. It makes them literally feel like the rays of the sun are kind of shining. It's I think Sag suddenly gets, I'll say, excited. Again, excited by this person, excited to meet someone who is powerful, someone of consequence, someone who brings an energy in that Sag can resonate with. But I do think it happens on a day where it's otherwise kind of a no good, poopy, crappy day. That's what it looks like to me. How does this Emperor feel about Sag? They light Sag up pretty fast. Hierophant. Okay, so it could start with, can we go get some wine? Because this is Dionysus, god of wine, god of party. But the Hierophant card is marriage. I said, how does this Emperor look at Sag? I don't think they have any question in their mind that Sag is long-term material. But they may be funny. This person could have a great sense of humor. They could be somebody who's also got a great sense of taste when it comes to ordering wine. But they may suggest that right out of the gate, like, hey, it's been a poopy crappy day. How about we go get some wine and then, you know, tell some jokes, and then how about we continue to pick out some wine that we'll have at our wedding? They may make some jokes that aren't jokes at all, because this is long term. They know that Sag is long term material right away. I think Sag knows it too, but man, there that storyline just kind of like, I feel like we kind of were perusing like in an old broken down car, and just kind of like all of a sudden the car just fully breaks down and Sag gets out and starts walking down the road, and they come to like a fantastic like new opportunity to buy I don't know, a train ticket to go someplace else and a whole different method of travel, and now they're off on some fabulous Euro train. It feels like we went from kind of something that wasn't going anywhere, bumpy roads, uncomfortable ride, to smooth sailing. And it's all thanks to the fact that this Sag was able to cut bait and move on. That's what helps them get to that real Two of Cups. All right, you guys, good to see you. Thank you everybody for hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys so much hanging out here. All right, you guys, take care. I will see you again. We're going to do one or two other stories tonight still, okay? And trying to think of, I think I have a Fucus still to do. I might have to do Taurus still also. All right, guys, take care. Bye for now.